Ladies and gentlemen, guess who's back again with the same video from yesterday. Oh, Hidan, you are so lazy, covering the same video 46 times, and it's not even from original content, it's another creator. Alright guys, alright. Look, I just find this topic interesting, and I hope you enjoyed as well, from one of my favorite Red Pill content creators, and I think this topic is more relevant than ever, guys, because we need to leave the West, not physically, at least mentally. I don't subscribe to the hedonistic bullshit. I don't subscribe to feminism. I don't subscribe to modern women and their role models, which happen to be pop culture figures and influencers and dating coaches who are single at 40. So let's check on this video, guys, and let's further elaborate.
To a country where, you know, passport bros go to, and he makes the women think he's looking for love, he's looking for marriage, when what he really wants is to have a good time. Then that is exploitative for sure. But in the end, we don't know what's going on in their hearts and minds.
I wouldn't say that all passport bros come here for real love or for genuine love. I'm sure there are some that come here for bad intention. Those are really the type of foreigner that Filipina should avoid because they don't deserve the traditional Filipina.
But even some passport bros admit there is a dark side to their movement, especially in Southeast Asia, a region with a long history of sex tourism. There's something romantic about falling in love with a foreigner. Two people brought together by destiny, despite distance and cultural differences. At least that was the dream of Joanna Ancla, a single mother of 3 in the Philippines. Joanna is looking for an AFAM. AFAM is an acronym for a foreigner around Manila, slang for a typically Western male. To many Filipinas, dating or marrying an AFAM is not an idea so foreign.
Foreigner, even they walk wearing a slipper in an ordinary shirt, something like they attract, you know, some ladies, their looks. I'm looking a foreigner. I'm looking that he is my best friend, their love, that can spend together, you know, the last of our life.
Last year, Joanna met a Finnish man on a dating site. They'd been talking for nearly 2 months when he asked her to join him on a trip to Boracay, a resort island in central Philippines.
We spent Christmas and New Year in Boracay.
Legion of men just flexing that he was able to bag a body that doesn't happen to be a feminist and an unpleasant modern woman. Congratulations.
Feel it that he
Living it, trying to tell you guys, living it. They don't want to listen though. Oh well, told you guys, get your passport, go overseas.
is really, he loved me also, and his intention is, you know, to get to know more me and going to you know, serious more or maybe married someday.
That future crumbled after his
She looks really good for her age too. That's wild. You won't see American women be this fit at their age.
vacation had ended.
Especially after 3 kids.
He returned to Finland, and she found out that he'd been in a relationship with another woman there. This love story gone awry points to a darker side of the Passport Bro movement. Many of their preferred destination countries, like the Philippines and Thailand, have a long history of sex tourism and exploitation.
Poorer countries have been sexually exploited for so many years, not just now.
True.
Ours, Spanish, the Friars, etc. The Filipinos have been sexually exploited. This idea about sexual exploitation is not limited to passport bros. But of course, in any movement, you always find the ones that take advantage.
I think those are very fair criticisms, and men do that. Passport bros, there's a lot of guys coming over who they just want quick hookups. They just want to get laid as much as possible, and they'll lie to women.
Now, to be honest, guys, when we first saw this man, I roasted him. But in my defense, it's because he was taken out of context. They just showed a 2-second clip of him saying 2 words, and I thought that he is defending that idea. Now, in context, I can see that he is correct, right? So apologies, guys, apologies. I was wrong, but in my defense, again, it was taken out of context.
To do it, they'll lie and say, oh, you know, we're in love, you know, we should get married and lead these girls on. And I think it's horrible. It does happen. But I do not think the vast majority I've met have not been that way.
This whole phenomenon of Western men coming to Southeast Asian, like the Philippines, looking for wives, it's not a new phenomenon. Before the passport bro, you had the femme, you had the dirty old man, you had the
Military
mail
bros.
order bride orders, you have the sexpat. But we have to like recognize women's agency. And if they're consenting into certain relationships or even transactions, then we have to respect that.
She hates that.
Pattaya.
You can see the pain in her face. Like, we must accept that. We have to do it. She hates it, guys. She hates to see all the women living happily.
These locales in Thailand have become synonymous with the sex industry. There are an estimated 300,000 sex workers in Thailand. Here, an average sex worker enters the industry at the age of 19. Each year, Thailand welcomes between 800,000 and 2 million sex tourists. Sex tourism brings in, by some estimates, over $6 billion for the country, and much of the industry is driven by poverty.
สงครามเย็นเนี่ยแหละที่ทำให้เซ็กทัวริซึมค่อนข้างเฟื่องฟูนะครับยกตัวอย่างเช่นพัดพงพัทยาสิ่งเหล่านี้เนี่ยเติบโตขึ้นมาจากบรรดาทหารอเมริกันเริ่มเข้ามาขณะเดียวกันมันมีอีกอาชีพหนึ่งที่เรียกว่าเมียเช่าคือพัฒนาการของการขายบริการทางเพศอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะครับก็มันก็เกิดขึ้นมาเหมือนแบบฉันจะเป็นแฟนกับเธอฉันจะเป็นคู่รักเป็นเมียเธอแล้วเธอก็ให้เงินฉันจะดูแลเธอประหนึ่งเมียที่ดีเลยเมียแบบในอุดมคติชายเป็นใหญ่เลย
Yeah, they're renting chicks on like a monthly basis, getting a girlfriend experience. Yeah, it's insane.
มันเกิดความไม่มั่นคงทางเศรษฐกิจตอนนั้นเมื่อทหารอเมริกันกลับไปเขาเกิดภาวะยากจนทันทีเมื่อมีประเทศที่มีพลเมืองบางประเทศนี่ที่ค่อนข้างที่จะถูกมองว่ารวยกว่าไม่รวยกว่าแต่มาจากประเทศโลกที่1หรือประเทศที่พัฒนาแล้วเนี่ยมันจึงทำให้ในไทยในฟิลิปปินส์บ้างเนี่ยรู้สึกว่ามันพึ่งพาได้มันสามารถทำให้รวยได้มันเข้ากันได้ดีการเคลื่อนไหวหรือปรากฏการณ์นี้อะครับ
There are concerns that under the veneer of social media likes and hashtags, the passport bro is just the new name for a sex tourist.
การเป็นเมียเช่ากับpassport bros เนี่ยนะครับก็มันคล้ายๆถึงการที่สยบยอมหรือยอมรับสถานะทางเพศของตนเองที่เป็นผู้หญิงแล้วก็สถานะของเป็นพลเมืองประเทศที่กำลังพัฒนาประเทศโลกที่3อยู่อย่างไทยกับผู้ชายที่จะเข้ามาที่เป็นผู้ชายนะครับในโลกชายเป็นใหญ่และมาจากประเทศโลกที่1ประเทศที่พัฒนาแล้วมันมีสถานะที่มันเหลื่อมล้ำตรงนี้อยู่
While Austin says he doesn't belong to that side of the passport bro spectrum, it has nonetheless affected him.
Guys, before this guy gives his opinion, I'm gonna give mine. Now, of course, there will always be bad people, right? In that number, men who are taking advantage of this. And to be honest, guys, I think that the passport bros should really try to counteract that. I think that Philippine women or Thai women should also be careful to not fall into that. And there is a chance that will keep this like a safe haven for men that are actually looking for a meaningful relationship. But to be absolutely honest with you guys, I think that it's going to collapse, right? Maybe I'm being too pessimistic, but I think that the number of men that are with bad intentions is going to ruin this whole thing. Not because at some point I think they will become a majority. I think that I agree with this man that the majority of men are not looking for that. But you know, just a small piece of rotting, I know, flesh can corrupt the whole thing. You know what I'm talking about? So honestly, I think this whole thing, guys, is going to last for a few more years, and then the women in those places will become extremely suspicious of men, or the whole media will say, oh, look at passport bros, they turn out to be evil all along, and the whole thing is going to collapse. So hey, there's no better time than now, guys. Buy your passport and go to the Philippines, which, by the way, I have read so many comments from you guys telling me, Hidan, I found let's say an Asian woman, and then talking about how happy they are with her, talking about how good they get along. These very same men that Asian women value are the same men that get dismissed by women in the country that the men are from, telling them how I have to settle for him, he doesn't live up to my standard, we don't get along, he's terrible, right? These very same men find success in Asia.
By dating Austin, his girlfriend Jewel feels unfairly tarred by these stereotypes.
Jewel doesn't want to go live in America. And it's because women comment on our posts that she's a prostitute. They comment that she's trying to escape poverty. That's the only reason she's with me. And you talk to her. She's educated. She speaks English great. And if she was white, this wouldn't happen.
And here is another side to the passport bro phenomenon. The idea of women's agency.
Yep.
Having dated some of them in Bangkok, Pam thinks it's women who control the game.
Yeah, so for me, I
Interesting.
don't think passport bro is intimidating or dominating a movement at all. But us as Asian women, we can protect ourselves from like being mistreated by them, or somehow we have like equal right to choose the proper relationship for us. I think it just depends on the two people in the relationship.
Where are you going to see women like that in America? They're probably wearing their hoodies. They're wearing their Lululemons. They're all disheveled. Hair's not done. You know the look, man. That nasty ass, like I just got out of bed or I couldn't put myself together look. This is average there. Look. You can't see it on this right side. Look, there you go. I made it smaller. Look, this is just one single freeze frame. Dresses. Do you see? That's what it looks like everywhere. It's a shocker for Americans.
Is that true, guys? I've never been to America. I don't know how women dress there. But at least here in Europe, they do dress like that. Like, I'm not shocked by seeing this picture. Most women, at least here in Europe, they really do dress up and try to look the best they can. But you tell me, how does it look in America?
It's like they are on the same page if they share the common goal.
ถ้าทุกคนสามารถมีตัวเลือกที่เหมาะสมนะครับยิ่งเยอะก็ยิ่งเป็นสิทธิ์ของเขาเพราะฉะนั้นการที่เขาจะใช้สิทธิ์เหล่านี้ในการที่จะมาหาคนที่ใช่จริงๆผมมองว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ดีนะครับไม่ใช่เรื่องที่แย่เลยแม้ว่าในมุมมองในอดีตเราจะมองว่าแบบการที่ต่างชาติจะมาหาแฟนคนไทยจะต้องเป็นคนระดับเวิร์กเกอร์บ้างคือผมมองว่ามันเป็นสิทธิ์ของเขาที่เขาต้องการในสิ่งที่เขาขาดผู้หญิงไทยหลายคนรอบตัวผมนะครับโดยเฉพาะเพื่อนผมเนี่ยเขาไม่ได้สนใจผู้ชายไทยด้วยซ้ำส่วนใหญ่จะสนใจต่างชาติมากกว่าไม่ว่าจะเป็นทางยุโรปนะครับทางอเมริกาหรือว่าแม้กระทั่งหนุ่มจีนหนุ่มไต้หวันเดี๋ยวนี้ก็เป็นที่สนใจของเพื่อนผมเหมือนกันสาเหตุหลักเขามองว่า
So that's very interesting. Before he provides an answer, I thought that women in let's say Thailand don't want to date Thailand men because maybe they are shorter, or Europeans and Americans tend to be taller. But he says that Thai women will also date Chinese guys, which also, as far as I know, are not taller than Americans or Europeans. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm waiting to receive an answer to that question. Why do these women not want to date the men who live there? And what will happen with the Thai men? Where will they go to be passport bros if they can't find women in Thailand? Let's see what this dude provides as an answer.
เขาไม่ได้ขาดเหมือนกับเขาไม่ได้แบบขาดดุลอะไรกับการที่เขาได้ลองเรียนรู้วัฒนธรรมอื่นๆนะ
Adaptable.
Despite her relationship scars, Joanna still holds out hope of meeting her foreign prince charming. Since her relationship with her Finnish paramour ended, Joanna has been open to dating other men. None have worked out so far.
My advice is you need to be more careful getting to know that guy. Don't give your trust all. That's the best thing all girls to do. It's a big learn to me. Love yourself first and know your worth. So my past relationship on my Finland boyfriend, it's not really break my heart. Maybe a small part. But I told you, I'm not a cheap Filipino. I'm not easy to get.
The Passport Bro movement, having spawned on the internet, might eventually go the way online
Look at
trends
that.
go and fade from relevance. But beneath it, there's a more worrying shift developing, a global pushback against feminism. Prometheus said he was a feminist for many years. The movement, in its early days, resonated with his belief in equality, but somewhere along the line, it became toxic to him.
My views of it started to change when I started to see feminism promotes double standards. Women can have their expectation. They can say, I want a guy with a six-pack. I want a guy with six figures. I want a guy who drives a Maserati, who has a big home. If a man says, I prefer a woman that's sort of on the fit side, a little slender, he's a sexist. How dare he say that he wants her to be thin?
Prometheus is far from alone in this view. There is a global pushback against feminism. It coincides with the surge of men's rights activism.
Yeah, no crap there is. It's a bullcrap philosophy, guys. It just is. Any person with common sense hates feminism. And the only people who believe in feminism are in a cult. And they are being indoctrinated. Feminism is just a big Trojan horse. Trojan, I don't know how you pronounce that. But a big, it's bait, you know. Feminism came under the pretense of more rights for women. Equal, they proclaimed equal rights for women. And of course, we all know it's far, far from that. It's just a men-hating, women-hating, family-destroying philosophy.
And hypermasculine movements, broadly known as the Manosphere.
Uh-oh.
The Manosphere is a network of online communities with a belief that men's rights have been neglected, usually laying the blame on feminism.
Uh-oh. We're
One
implicated.
of the most notorious figures of the movement is Andrew Tate.
There you have the villain, guys. Here he is, the big bad wolf, and his brother accomplice. The two most evil people in this planet right now.
Who became famous for anti-feminist rhetoric. Andrew Tate and his brother have been charged with sexual assault and human trafficking in Romania.
No.
Which turned out to be bullcrap, by the way. When this whole thing of the STX trafficking happened, all the women, all the dating coaches were like, see the Manosphere, they're all evil, they are STX trafficking. Nothing came out of that. They couldn't find any proof whatsoever. Nothing came out of that, guys. Wow.
Within the Manosphere exist groups like MGTOW, or...
Even worse, guys, even worse. We're getting to the lowest level of hell and pure evilness.
Men going their own way. Men who want nothing to do with women. Then there is the red pill.
Oh my.
Those who believe society privileges women and suppresses men. The name is from The Matrix, a 1999 science fiction film where a red pill reveals the truth about the world. Another faction are incels, short for involuntary celibate.
There's factions.
These are men who can't find sexual partners and air their often hateful and aggressive frustrations online. The Passport Bro movement is also considered as part of the Manosphere.
Okay.
There are differences and overlaps, but overall, these groups are linked by one core idea, a feeling that men are losing out.
women exercise more autonomy, and therefore in the context of relationships, men might feel like that takes from their power.
When you think about what privilege is, psychologically speaking, then basically it means that you have occupied a spot in a hierarchy that has long remained unchallenged. So suddenly you see that someone is approaching that hierarchy. I could see how that would maybe aggravate.
All these eggheads don't know that it's just biological. We don't want fat women. We want fit women. We don't want nagging wives. We want happy feminine wives. We want a woman that's young enough that can bear babies. We don't want an old chick whose eggs don't work anymore. This is all biologically underpinned. Men's preferences in their sexual partners are on youth, beauty, and their ability to bear babies. They can't accept that this is all there is. They think it's like, we're challenging men in the hierarchy of society. We have become more competitive in the job market. We now have more rights and rules, and we can be bosses too. No one gives a shit. No one cares about your degree. No one cares about your experience and all the shit you've done in the world. When it comes to building a family, a man is going to look for a woman that is best tailored to giving him children. Your accolades don't mean shit. Your salary doesn't mean shit. The eggheads don't understand that. We're climbing up the social hierarchy. We are challenging men for global domination. Shut up. Shut up. Get out.
I mean, they really are like children.
Out of school. Numbnuts. You're being indoctrinated and radicalized in ideas that aren't rooted in the real world. No man is intimidated by a woman. What the fuck? We may be intimidated by beauty is because we hold beauty up on the pedestal, which is why art, music, everything in the past that we've ever created always upheld the feminine beauty until, feminism came around and destroyed that whole aspect. Stop objectifying me. Objectifies themselves with like fans then with their social media profiles where they're showing their tits and their ass for free. Don't objectify me. You do it to yourselves. That's the double standard. That's the hypocrisy here. That's why feminism is dying or radicalized to even have any more of a foothold in society to be relevant still, because it's just a smaller and smaller contingent of numbnuts, radicalized zealots screaming out into the ether to be, at least paid attention to, because first way, feminism already did its job. Women can get a job. Women can work, start a business, get credit cards, do all the things that they fought for to do. Vote, all that stuff. You're there. You got it. There's no rights that are missing. This last wave is just all man-hating bullshit, and nobody's on board with that. By the way, it's eating its own tail because they've taken in the rainbow community now, and then, now you got men in dresses going into women's spaces, taking over their sports, all that shit. So it's like...
Yeah, guys, whatever happened to feminism when it came down to the trans men taking up their sports, Why was feminism silent about it? Well, again, because it's a Trojan horse. It was never about female rights. Or at least in the last... in the majority of the movement, it wasn't about female rights. Maybe it was in the very beginning for a very short time. Then the whole movement got hijacked by the people actually controlling the movement, all right? The globalists. They just use feminism as a tool to to raise a wall between men and women, to destroy the family unit, and to get more women to be miserable and be, docile little soldiers for their causes. That's what feminism is. It's a cult. It really is. Let's finish with the thoughts of Legion of Men.
Congratulations, sis. You overshot so much you're losing the one thing you had, the female space, and what it means to even be a woman. That's why no one cares anymore.
Yeah, the feminist movement, guys. Most of the feminists in the last year didn't know what a woman is. All right? Talk about feminism, guys. But well, we'll leave the video here. We'll do one more tomorrow, and we'll end this whole video. But to close on these thoughts, gentlemen, feminism really is dying. I'm 100% certain about this. It will die. The movement will end. It lasted way longer than it should. It should never have existed to begin with. But well, we are going to probably see its end, in our lifetimes, in our lifespan, especially me that I'm immortal. But, we're going to see it. We're going to witness it. The downfall of probably the most destructive ideology when it comes to male and female interactions. But well, gentlemen, let me know what you think about that, and I'll see you on the next one.